And then she started, just getting on the floor on all fours and was pretending to be a dog. It was real fucking weird. Real weird.
Hi, I'm your host, Daniel.
Weekend,
Welcome to year 2 of the Slalt Cast. We tried a new intro bit, and I guess we're stuck with that for a whole year now.
I don't.
The comedic genius that came up with that himself, Coby, is to my right.
Yes, it is me. It is Coby.
And the host of Slaltcast's new biggest show, Footy Talk.
Basically, it is the biggest show. It has actually taken over the main podcast as the premier listening experience.
Well, Joseph, I'll put it this way. Last week, it got more views than the main show. due to the new fortnightly release schedule. Now, I know many of you are panicking right now. You've been panicking for about 8 days as you realise there was no Slaltcast last week. Things were thrown, holes are punched in walls, many infants sacrificed to the cause. Some conflicts in Israel started. I'm not sure if that's related. But for those of you that missed it, we have moved to a fortnightly release schedule now. So here is your fortnightly Slalt. And if you are panicked about, well, what am I going to do on the other weeks? I'll plug that at the end of the show. Because I can feel Coby being furious with me that I've spent the first minute of the podcast plugging our own things.
I am absolutely fucking furious right now, Daniel. I am absolutely livid. I cannot fathom another second of you talking about that thing that you were talking about.
So for those of people in the live audience at twitch.tv/Slotcast, will know that a spanner has kind of been thrown in the works for this podcast because we expected our good friend Kaden to be here. You may know him from episode 51 and episode 50 of the Slotcast. We expected him to be here because Coby had an exciting weekend that involved Kaden. So do you want to jump right into that, Coby?
Yeah. So
actually, no. Before you talk about the weekend, can you talk about Friday first? Because that's not part of the weekend. It's Friday.
Well, obviously, he should have known. He would have known that.
Well, no, because I feel like you're saying I was going to
start my story Saturday morning.
Okay, can you now start with Friday?
Well, hold on. So about a month and a half ago, or maybe 2 months ago, I forget the time frame.
Well, it was actually about over a year ago. The genesis.
Well, Dugan last year was originally... I think it was just Dugan last year who was going to go up and then said, I'm going to go up if you guys want to go, to surprise Kaden. And then that fell through because of COVID-19.
Because something happened this time last year. I'm not 100% sure what it was.
Yeah.
But
Coby-19. And then... So that wasn't able to happen. So about a month and a half ago, Kaden's girlfriend Summer messaged us and was like, "Hey boys, come up for Kaden's birthday this weekend, in May." And we were like,
we already tried to organize it. Like it was kind of confirmed that we're going to try and go.
Yeah. And then it turns out that nobody could go. Nobody could go. Like it was four of us.
It was an odd weekend to put it.
Drop out last minute. It really was. Everyone had like their own thing. Like, this was the worst possible weekend.
Like Mother's Day.
It was the Mother's Day weekend.
Mother's Day weekend.
You know, but you know, we make sacrifices for our boy. We see our mums every day, and we don't see our boy every day. So you know,
our mother's also birthed us, though. To be fair,
there's no evidence that Kaden wasn't present at our births.
That is true.
He's older than all of us.
Kaden is all. Oh yeah, so
like he was probably
there on December 15th, 1:15 p.m.
I would have been a quick trip from Hurstville on December 14th, 11:55.
Crazy that 14 days before that he was down in fucking Wollongong.
Well, that doesn't seem as ridiculous. He had a lot of days to travel.
Well, yeah, but like, why would you be in Wollongong 14 days before being in Hurstville?
Look, there's a lot of questions going unanswered here, Coby.
Anyway,
kebab shop or something.
Anyway,
he was watching he was watching the Dragons.
Shut up.
Obviously,
Shut the fuck up.
Stop trying to plug Footy Talk at every goddamn moment.
And then so it was myself. Originally, it was myself, Cameron, Dugan, and Dan.
That's me.
But then Dan dropped out a couple weeks before because of uni. So it was just the three of us, which worked out. I was
supposed to go as well.
We're all supposed to go, and then no one could make it.
Which was great because, you know, on a plane, there's 3 seats next to each other, and there was 3 of us conveniently, so it wasn't going to be like 2 2 with one random sitting there, or 3-1 with
Now,
that one
who
person.
took the window seat?
I took the window
Did
seat.
you make
because I
everyone
liked-
move so you could go poop on
He
the 1 hour
100%.
flight?
No, I never got up. During
Why
the
not?
flight.
You literally, when you have the window seat, there's
Your
two
obligation.
benefits. You have the window seat, you can look out the window first benefit. Second benefit, you have complete control over everyone else in your aisle. You can make them fucking get up, get down, so you can poop
Well, see,
on your
I
54-minute
did use
flight.
that control on Dugan. I did tell him to get my bag, I took some books up for the flight.
You fucking
And
nerd.
I told him to get the bag that had my
for
books
an
in.
hour flight.
Was it an anime, like a manga? That's
Yeah,
what
it was.
they
It was a
called?
manga.
Was it
so
your,
it was
like, little, like-
It was It was enough for like an hour flight. Also, shut the fuck up.
Well, you ain't trying to embrace her in a
Joseph, you
Kaden.
could take a book. You could take a book on any
No,
kind of
because
flight.
it's anytime Caden's flown down, and or like the couple
always
times
had a
Caden's
book.
flown down, and I've
Had
been
a book.
responsible for collecting him. He's had a book.
Yeah, that's also been my experience
Can
too.
you read those? The question.
He can
It's
read.
funny because like the meme is haha Caden can't read, but he reads more than all of us.
I know.
Yeah.
Like 100%. 100%.
So, where was I?
On the
Fucking
plane.
yeah. So traveling was made really easy.
Oh, hang on, did you have airport
Because there
beers?
was 3 of us. No, we didn't have airport
Well,
beers.
what's the state of the airport at the moment? Like the domestic terminal,
Shit. Just
Do
we
you-
actually Friday. Friday's a funny story.
not the weekend.
So our flight was at 7:20 a.m. Because we wanted to make as much time as we could up the coast. So what we did was got the flight 7:20. Then we'd have the full day Friday, and then Sunday we were going to leave. Our flight was at 5:20, so that we could have like most of the day Sunday. And still have some time
Well,
Sunday
everyone knows you
afternoon
have to get
here.
to the airport 6 hours early for a domestic flight, so
Yeah, well, we were cutting it very close. We couldn't get the online booking to work, which we were trying to do in
online
the car.
booking or check-in.
A check-in, sorry.
As
We
said.
couldn't
I
get
hope
that
you're
to
on
work in
booking
the
flights
car.
on the drive to the
Yeah,
airport.
no. And then when we got to the airport, we tried using the do-it-yourself terminals to get your tickets, but they weren't working.
Which airline
And
was
this was about... This is Virgin.
But it explains a lot. No, because when we went to Melbourne with Tiger, I remember we had similar. They didn't even offer online check-in, and then the fucking kiosks like spat out Blake's ticket. Of course,
Yeah.
of fucking course.
It was. Oh, I forgot about that.
And
I forgot like,
like-
9 o'clock beers.
It was Blake, so he handled it like terribly.
So stressed.
So that was that experience. We had to line up, but the flight didn't take off without us, thank God. We went through security, and I have a
Did
toiletries
Dugan get
bag,
randomly stopped?
no, I got stopped because
Yeah,
in my
fair enough.
toiletries bag, always
7
I've
guns.
got I've got a male manicure kit which had like scissors in there.
Oh, so it wasn't a random stoppage. It was this man's bringing.
Yeah, it
scissors
was
onto
a stoppage
plane.
because I had scissors in there, yeah, and those scissors got confiscated. So
That's happened to my
no.
mum. She just took
because
her
I've
handbag and she
forgotten
had
about
nail
it,
scissors in there.
Joseph. I've forgotten about it. Like it
Well, can
didn't
you not
cross
have
my
nail
mind.
clippers?
Well,
Pardon?
you can't have. It was
Oh,
were they
in your-
nail scissors? Like
Yeah, they were now scissors.
yeah, we
They
can't
were,
have
like,
fucking
actual
scissors.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Like,
clippers.
no.
But also,
nail
why aren't
clippers,
you using
no.
clippers?
Yeah.
I do. It's a kit. It's got those in there. It's just always in there because, like, whenever I'm going somewhere, just in case if I break a nail or something, which is fairly common.
That's like a good strat. When I was in, when we went on like a family holiday to Fiji, I did that exact thing. I fucked up my nail, and we had to buy the fucking cheapest, worst nail clippers, which were the only ones we could
Exactly.
find from like a souvenir shop, and it was not great.
Exactly. Look who's laughing now. And also, it did come in handy because my nails grew.
That's crazy.
Over the
I
weekend.
can't believe that happened.
Well, all right, you fucking laugh. You know what I mean. They weren't.
They weren't
Fucking
cutting
grown
length,
enough
and
to
then they
cut
were-
Cut your
them.
nails, you fucking.
I
Bite
don't know.
them.
That's bad for you. No, that's bad for you.
Don't bite your nails.
I kicked that-
Gross.
I
How's it
keep-
bad for you?
Gross.
I kicked that habit a long time ago.
I just never had it.
Anyway,
because of, my
So we got our
masculinity.
flight. We got up the coast. We surprised him. I'm not going to say anything embarrassing, but he was in.
Did he cry?
No, he didn't cry.
Ah.
What the fuck? We walked in.
Kobe
'cause
was
he
like waiting for Kobe cried, and Kaden was just
Yeah, I
like,
cried
"What?"
because he was at Summers. Summer picked us up from the airport, and he was at Summers. And like Summer lives in her parents' backyard in like a granny flat.
Any flat?
Yeah.
I
So-
wish I was just praying for like the Discord noise gate to cut off your mic. Like someone lives in a parent's backyard.
And then, so like we walked through the side gate. Her dad let us in, and we walked
On a
through,
scale
like,
of 1 to Caden's dad, how intimidating is Summer's dad? Do they have like a dad rivalry?
Summer's dad is very friendly. He remembered me from when I was there last. He said,
Wow.
"Hey, Coby," and I went, "Oh my god."
He's like, I'm sorry.
Actually, no,
I thought up here I was Cody.
Yeah.
He's seen you
Before that,
twice. He remembers your name. Caden's dad's seen you so many times.
Caden's dad. That was the first time I met Caden's dad. That's the only time
How
I met
did you
Caden's
met? I guess
dad.
you weren't friends with us as much in
Yeah,
school.
I wasn't.
Yeah, I was just, yeah.
So
didn't get to watch
before
one
that,
of the Planet Apes.
Summer was telling us about Caden's car, which is also parked out in front of Summer's house at this point in time. And
What's
she
he got
said
now?
the window won't go up. And I thought, oh yeah, I remember his car. Like, there's a lot of shit wrong with it. Like, you can lock the car, and then one of the back doors, it like just doesn't lock, so you could open it, and then it unlocks the rest of the car. So, like, hilarity, right? But she said that, yeah, the window won't go up anymore. And we thought, well, that's fucked. And she's like, yeah, there's a tarp on it. So when you think of there's a tarp covering the window, do you think it'll be like tight? Like, I thought it was going to be tightly wrapped.
Well,
No, it was just a tarp.
Yeah, I was gonna say
hanging
any
from
other
the side of the
person I'd
car.
expect like a well wrapped thing, but Caden it probably had like 3 bits of duct tape and it was just flowing.
It
Duct
was
tape
just,
was just like
and it
normal
was like a
card.
there was
full size
no
tarp.
duct tape. There was, yeah, it was a full size tarp folded in half, just like pressed into the door.
Oh my
The
god!
visual when we turned the corner and saw it.
Wait, is
was
it the
so
whole door
fucking
so you
fun.
can't like access
the
the
whole
handle on the
door.
inside?
Yeah, the whole door. It was so fucking funny.
Could you imagine if that was Dugan? Like how precise that tarp would be. Like he would line.
Well,
it
do you
up
remember when we went down the
precisely.
coast the last time we were trying to put the tarp over the tree and we
Oh,
like tied
yeah.
the knots and it was fine and he was like, fucking no.
Yeah.
Redo it.
So then we walked in and he was still in his undies, so he wasn't expecting it, which was good.
Yeah, he was probably
Um,
pissed. Honestly, if I was in that situation and I was expecting to just have a chill weekend and all my friends rocked up, I'd be like, yeah, that's cool, but like, fuck my weekend.
100%. I'd probably get annoyed.
You mean you would? You'd tell us to leave.
Yeah.
Well, like just come back tomorrow. I'm going to sleep.
So then we went to lunch. Friday was a boys' night. It was just Cameron, Dugan, and I, and then Verum. Tom and Joel and Lawrence showed up. Well, Tom, Joel, and Lawrence showed up when we were at the pub that was like directly across the road from the house that we were staying at. Beautiful place, by the way. It was like a block behind the beach. So it
Yeah, I
was,
saw your
you know,
Snapchats and it looked like spectacular.
yeah, and then like directly diagonal was the pub. So, you know,
Convenient,
very easy.
convenient.
Wait, so whose house was this? Or
This was just an Airbnb.
oh, sorry. Yep.
So we were at the pub and then we saw Joel, Loz, and Tom before they went to the Annoying Neighbours gig. And then we just partied. I went to sleep early because I was up from 4:30 because I have to travel half an hour to get to where you guys live and I can't just wake up 15 minutes before I have to go.
Yeah, it must suck.
So I went to bed early.
How much earlier did you go to bed? When you say
I think they were up till 1, maybe 2.
what time did you go to bed?
I went to bed at
We've stopped stream because Kobe goes to bed at like 7:45.
11:30. 11:30, 12. I think maybe 11:30.
Yeah, it's not as bad. I thought you were saying like I thought they were gonna be like all night, and then you're like that bloke that goes to bed at 10.
No, I think they
And
went
wakes up
till
as people-
they went till fairly late, but I don't think Saturday was a little bit more chaotic. So
Well,
then
yeah, were you tired from a flight anyway? Flights
Yeah.
just fuck you up.
Well, a quick aside: sleeping on planes. Where do you guys like? Are you guys able to?
Yeah.
I can if I've
Not
got the
well.
pillow because I'm tall.
See, I find like it's something about the white noise of the plane going. You put me on a plane, I fall asleep like that. Like on the flight down to Melbourne, like Melbourne to Sydney is not a long flight. I slept
Yeah,
through
yeah,
it.
you
I fell
slept.
asleep. Like I brought my Switch. I was like, I'm gonna grind. I had like 4 temples left to do in Breath of the Wild. I was like, I'm gonna smash.
Well,
I-
I remember the Melbourne flight. Oh, sorry, you go ahead, Kobe.
I was just gonna say falling asleep on the plane is like really dependent on how tired I actually am. Like even in the morning when I was tired, like by the time we were on the plane, going like having to rush a bit, like got the adrenaline pumping. So there was like I could have. I
It's the
definitely
most
could have just
acceleration
nodded.
Kobe had felt in years was
Yeah.
getting to a plane
Fuck.
on time. He's like, I'll better pack the scissors for an extra,
Yeah.
an extra bit of spice.
Little kick.
Yeah. So go on, Joseph. You were
I
saying
was
something.
gonna say no because I just like sleeping on planes, but I was just like I can do it. Like all I remember mostly is Fiji, coming back from Fiji.
Oh god.
So partying all night, then basically
I
getting
was
on a boat like
so
3 in the morning.
unbelievably unwell on that flight on the way home. Like I had like
I don't remember that plane ride. I do not.
Well, that was an eventful day. We're going full non sequitur into that last day of
Yeah.
schoolies. So, for context, on our schoolies trip, and for those who are unaware, schoolies is it's like an Australian tradition. After you finish high school, people from like your school and then generally the schools in the local area will go fuck up either the Gold Coast or an island in Fiji or something. And so we went to Plantation Island in Fiji, and on the flight there, the airline lost my bags. I didn't get them until
right.
4 days into the week-long thing. And then on the very last day, within like the last 3 hours of us being on the island, so like we had all of our like belongings and stuff put in the safe in our room, and the key was hidden inside Dugan's toiletries bag, which was like stuffed under the sink in the bathroom, and it was like secure as. I didn't bring my actual phone, thank God. Because I just bought the Pixel 2, it had come out like a week or two earlier. I just bought that, so I brought like a shitty Chinese phone.
Your old phone, yeah.
And then I had like the tiniest amount of Australian money, like just in case, like either side of the airport, and my passport in there, and everyone had like about the same. I didn't touch my phone for the whole week because it was my like burner phone. I didn't have any apps or anything on there, so I was like, oh, there's no point. I left it in there safe the whole time. That last night, we go to give our bags to like the reception for them to be loaded onto the boat, and before I did that, I'd opened this. The safe had been opened because people needed to get things out of there to put into their like checked baggage. Safe had been opened. I took my phone out and my wallet, and I just left it on the bed. And so we like left our room, locked the door, put the bags down, came straight back. In that time, someone had broken into the room and they took my phone and the money out of my wallet. And it was like 25 minutes. And I was like, well, this is great. It's unbelievable I had as good a time as I had on that trip, considering the fucking bags for half of it.
You in the same, you had to wear the same undies for ages.
I just like that trip, how the vibe going there was completely different than the vibe.
Like leaving. Well,
yeah.
Leaving, because so the whole, basically, to give context, leaving it, we'll had to leave at like 3-4 in the morning, and at school you don't really go to bed till 3-4 in the morning anyway.
Yeah.
So we're like, well, we've got to get on the boat 3. We'll just party all the way through. And
Such a bad idea.
Oh, it was a good bar.
It really was the moment. Like we all kind of looked at each other at about 1, and it was like, we're just gonna like keep going.
And and then we all get on this boat, and I get pretty boat sick. I wasn't that bad, but it's just that unrested feeling.
Substance, like alcohol had been consumed by some parties. Well, that was your birthday, wasn't it? Your 18th birthday that night that we left.
That was my 18th birthday. Yeah, I had a very extended birthday because of the time zones.
The time zones. You had a long birthday.
Was that during your not drinking or your wine phase?
That was not drinking.
Remember, he sculled water, and we were all like, yes,
yeah,
it was
sculled water.
Simply water that you sculled.
Yes. I was very... Well, look, some guys get their socks off.
Their socks off? Other guys get their rocks off, normally.
Some guys get their Sky Zone socks on. That trip, I got my Sky Zone socks.
They were torn off.
That trip was Joseph before he was dating his now ex. He was like, Dan, keep me away from his now ex. And then 2 seconds later, he'd be over there, and he'd be like, we're going back to her room. And I was like, are you sure? And he's like, yes. And I was like, okay. The damage is done. Yeah.
So we're on the boat, and then we get fuck you, Dan.
You don't have to tell the story.
Well, no, just how everyone got on the plane, and the plane ride there was everyone's up and about, and then.
Do you remember the plane ride there? Like people like grabbed the trolley from the flight attendants and were running up and down the aisle, and on the way back, everyone was dead. I watched. What's the movie with like Anne Hathaway and the like?
Devil Wears Prada.
No, it's like the intern.
The robots fighting. No, that's.
I think it's the intern.
The intern, yeah.
Nero.
Yes. Yeah, because it was one of those planes where it had in-flight entertainment, but what that was several CRTs in the aisle, like from the roof, and it was just whatever they was playing is what was happening.
Yeah.
And I was so I got the sickness on that trip, and like I couldn't sleep which is how you know I was unwell because I couldn't sleep on a plane, and I was so like congested I fucking went through my tissues in seconds. So I was like, I had a shirt in my carry-on. I was like, I had to sacrifice it to my nose. It was bad. I was real sick. I lost my voice. Didn't have a phone. And I was like, well, I guess I'm watching The Intern with Ian Hathaway now.
Your mum probably thought it was fucking cum when you gave her that shirt full of smiles.
Why'd you have to take it there? Why'd you?
And then a couple of the girls came back with hickeys. Well, a lot of the and then
No, they were playing paintball.
they're playing paintball, and all the parents are there, and like you could see them all like sort of rock up, and you just see like
Yeah, everyone wore turtlenecks.
The shame.
It was
The
crazy.
shame. That was great. That was a great
What were we
time,
talking about
guys.
before this?
Kobe
We were
was
talking
on the
about my
plane.
trip.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
plane. Wait, actually, one more story on the plane when we all had beers going down to Melbourne, and then
Oh.
it was a 1 hour flight. I think we all went to the
1
toilet
hour
like
flight to
3
the same
times.
time zone, and like we're in the airport, like, oh, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's the airport. It doesn't count. And then we're all like, well, I took the window seat. I was asleep, and then we landed. I was like, I pissed like 5 times.
On the plane. It was like it was me, Blake. Oh, was Blake there? I think
Yeah.
me, Blake,
Yeah, Blake was
Benji.
there.
I can't remember if Noah did, but we just constantly pissed like 3 or 4 times each. We just kept walking up and down. Everyone was looking at us. It was like 10 in the morning.
And we didn't have a cup because we like were responsible, and we got to the airport like with like hours to spare, so we were just at the bar.
Yeah,
like a considerable
like
amount of
$10 a
time.
schooner.
I don't remember this. What the fuck?
Did you come to Melbourne?
Yeah, I did go to Melbourne with you guys.
Yeah, that's. Do you not remember getting the schooners? At the
Another non sequitur from the non sequitur. Going
Oh, God.
on like a boys trip with 6 people like that, where we had to travel so much, was a terror. Like 6 people was the worst number because we had to get Uber XLs, and that shit was expensive.
Well, we wouldn't have had to get Ubers if.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, moving on.
Anyway, back to the
Moving
original.
on.
We're gonna go 2 layers
Back
of
to
non sequiturs back up to the original.
It's
story.
like Inception.
It is.
Play the. Oh wait, I'll do.
We
the
were
noise.
just in
I'll
the
do
snow
noise. Ready?
place, and now
Where's Ken
that was
Watanabe?
awful. Whatever you do.
So back to reality.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in the
Ghost
hallway, and
Yeah,
the,
fuck it.
the van went over the thing. Do you know
So,
the length of that movie
oh
is
my
the
God.
same length as the song if you made it hours and minutes instead of minutes and seconds? And like the
Anyway,
blah
yeah,
is that song slowed down?
Oh.
I have a lot of Inception facts.
What
Did
about
you know
Memento?
he?
Do you have any Memento facts?
I fucking love Memento. I could do. I could make like a whole podcast. I fucking love that movie.
You know what?
Yeah,
You know
don't
what?
ask me about Insomnia. That's my least favorite Christopher Nolan movie.
Speaking of confusing movies, though, did you know? And remember when Kaden on the podcast was like, "I was watching The Da Vinci Code." Guess what? Dugan watched on the flight back. It was the
End
Da
of the
Vinci
Demons?
Code.
Oh,
Fuck, Kobe, that would have been funny if it was Angels and Demons.
I'm so
You fuckhead.
Anyway.
It up for the sport. Yeah, okay. Go back to the Queensland.
back to the Queensland.
You know,
So it was
Tom
a boys'
Tom
night.
Hardy's character in Dunkirk is the same character he plays in Venom.
Why are we doing this bit again? Why are we doing this fucking bit again? I'm trying to tell a story.
Go.
And you guys are just derailing it every time.
And do you know the
This
guy
is how
that
Paul
in that
Dano
movie,
came into like our
Yeah,
lives.
I was gonna try and
Oh,
get to
God, I
Paul
love
Dano,
Paul
but I couldn't
Dano.
bother.
You know, Christopher Nolan isn't Denis Villeneuve, and Denis Villeneuve made Prisoners with Paul Dano.
This is the exact same bit. The
Did
same
you know
bit.
Kenneth Branagh is in Dunkirk, but he's also in Harry Potter 3? That's not it.
Harry
That's
Potter
not the
2.
Paul Dano. That's just shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
'Cause
get fucking
Lupin's-
owned.
Lupin's is 3. Yep.
So
okay.
we were. Dan's googling
No,
something.
no, the
Oh,
people in the live
Oh.
chat are redeeming channel point things. I'm like, oh no, they're turned off.
So anyway, so the boys' night ended. I don't know. I can't tell you how the boys' night ended because I was asleep. And then Saturday rolled around. We went to the pub for breakfast. Got a nice eggs Benedict.
Oh, love an eggs Benny.
Who
We should
doesn't
do
love-
breakfast with the boys again now that COVID's over.
Yeah.
Almost over.
Well, we haven't gotten vaccinated because our prime minister is a massive fuckhead.
I don't think that can't be entirely his
Well, there's a
fault.
lot of like the
And I hate
vaccines
him.
getting blocked in shipping like by other nations coming to our country.
But aren't we producing it now?
So I
Nope.
I want one of the cool ones like Moderna or
The Pfizer
Pfizer.
one. Well, aren't they the same
Yeah, I don't
one?
want Johnson and Johnson. Fuck that noise.
Yeah. I don't want to be a J.
And what's the other one? The A one? AIDS.
AstraZeneca.
AstraZeneca.
That's what everyone. That's the one we're all gonna get.
I don't want that one though.
Hell
it's
yeah,
not
I
the
want
cool
the
one.
AstraZeneca. Give me the AstraZeneca.
That's not one of the
My
cool.
grandparents-
Oh man.
my
Let me be an
grandparents might love it.
astronaut.
I do. AstraZeneca does make you an astronaut. I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Back onto.
Back
Back to
on
Paul
track.
Dano.
So after breakfast, we kind of we all did 9 before 1 actually. 1 before 9 actually.
I saw
Which is
Snapchats
surprising.
from Dugan of like you in bed, and he was like 1 hour
Okay,
remaining.
so here's the thing. I was a tired fucking boy, right? And
It's
I'm always the first one without fail to wake up, no matter where. Like even if I'm the last one to go to sleep, I will always be the first to wake up in any like social situation like this where we're out and stuff. And then I'd just lay in bed. But I was so tired that I was able to get back to sleep. And I think I originally woke up at like 7, and then I woke up at like 8:30, and then I went back to sleep. And then I was half dazed at about 9:30, like I was waking up really dazed. And I just heard the guys twerking from the other room, and my ear picked up the words.
You heard them
drink.
twerking from the other room?
No, talking. And I heard the words in like my ear, just drink and 9. And my body shot up. I looked at the time; it was 8:40,
You
and
looked
I
at
went.
your phone. It was like the Zach Galifianakis from The Hangover, like the numbers everywhere. It's like, oh god.
It was like
You're
it
like
was
calculating the
I
angle to
woke
dive
up-
out
I
of
woke
bed.
up instantly. I didn't even put my glasses on. I marched upstairs, and Dugan came upstairs, and I'm like to him, I'm not going to drink 9 before 1. I will die before I do that, and pour myself a drink.
Well, so Joseph, here's where I'm gonna pull you aside, Coby. If you can just kind of, Joseph, come step into my office. I don't want Coby
Alright,
to
okay,
hear
Just
this.
one moment. May I just pause for 1 moment?
So,
Just what?
oh wow, he's really just breaks the bit.
So yeah, I'm in. So I'm in the.
So you're in my office. So it's come to my knowledge that Coby, in fact, for his 1 before 9, made a mixed drink. I believe it was a Canadian Club and Dry, but like a self-mixed. Do we think that counts as a valid 1 before the 9? Because I think there's a lot of like external factors that may influence the strength.
I feel like someone else should have been there
Well, it's
to do it.
in my knowledge, it was Coby that poured it. I feel like he's standing outside the door of the office, eavesdropping the conversation. Coby, come
That's
in.
right.
Coby, come in and
You
defend
shouldn't-
yourself.
You shouldn't have allowed him to defend himself.
Dugan was there and saw me pour. I think I poured like just perfectly over a shot. I think
Well, there's no way to know
Of
because you raw dogged the glass.
it was no.
Yeah.
I could tell. Like I could tell it wasn't. I had people verify the strength of the drink. Cameron had a sip, and Kaden had a sniff. Right.
All of
But
this in
I
the
was
1
gonna
minute
bring up.
before
I was
9.
gonna bring
Here we
up.
go.
I was gonna bring up. All right. That
Cogs
was because
Wallop, I
the only
say.
thing in the fridge was beer, and I'm not going to do that. Right. If there was like anything else in the fridge, I would have done that. So, however, we allowed shots to be done for 1 before 9.
Well, that's against the rules also.
that defeats the purpose.
It's
though.
you're
That's
supposed to
what
suffer through a whole drink. That's the point.
It's to
Right.
suffer.
I think we allowed Lawrence a shot, and I think one other person, and Zane.
But do they not drink beer or?
No, they drink. They just didn't want it. Lawrence got out of bed like with 3 minutes to go.
That's you're not.
Right.
You have to supposed to
That's it.
neck a beer. You can't have a
That's the whole
shot.
point.
So I didn't want to enforce the rules, but there was a discussion and we allowed it, and I was kind of upset about that.
That's fucked. So not only are you getting egged now because yours didn't count, but also Lawrence and who was the other person you said
Counted. Shut
it
the
didn't.
fuck up.
It didn't. We just decided.
No, you can't.
Zane
You
and
can't decide
Lawrence.
that. You weren't there.
I saw the video, the tapes. I saw
There
the
was a
tapes.
shot. I guarantee you there was more than a
Yeah,
shot.
but we
in there.
can't be sure. Thus, we have to egg to be 100% certain.
Yeah, that is true though. So
That's that's false.
I think the mixed drink, I would still prefer that over a shot. The shot is something.
The shot
that
defeats the
shouldn't
purpose
be-
because for the
Yeah.
uninitiated, the purpose of the game is you're supposed to suffer through an entire drink, or
If it's
ideally
gonna
an
be a
entire
shot-
beer before
If
9
it's
a.m.
going to be a shot, it should be like 3 shots.
No, it should be like a shot of hand sanitizer or something. Like it needs to be bad. you
Yeah,
need to go
I-
blind.
Well, 3 shots is suffer. Like 3 shots
Well,
is
but
suffer.
if you're gonna do 3, okay, if extension, if you
That still defeats
we're
the
gonna
purpose.
accept
You want
3
the liquid
shots,
to give you-
it needs to be
Yeah.
slam, slam, slam. Like you can't break between them.
Or
Yeah.
like, or
I'd
like a
rather
big
you
glass
drank
full of
like
through.
whiskey neat or like whiskey on the rocks than have a shot.
Yeah.
It's still not
Yeah.
because the volume of liquid is a factor.
Well,
Yeah.
or I'd even say a really strong mix. So like, say like 2-shot mixer. I wouldn't see shots doesn't count. Because you want the whole issue is that the excess liquid is making you
Like
want to
you
throw
already
up.
need to do your morning piss. It's
Yeah.
like it's a boys' week. It's a boys' night. So it's like time shift everything by 4 hours. So really, it's like having a drink at 5 a.m. on a normal day.
Mm.
So
You only went to bed 3 hours ago.
yeah, exactly.
So
yeah,
that was the controversy surrounding one before night. We didn't do it on the Sunday because
I mean,
Saturday
you
night
did
was a
do it.
bit
It sounded
wild.
like you all failed.
Well,
Yeah, you
okay.
know,
Well,
it
it
doesn't-
sounded
There's
like-
no
it sounded like
not
a lot
doing
of-
it. If it's
sounded
a
like
boys'
lot of
weekend.
people were up till like sunrise.
Yeah, well,
So
What's
doesn't
sunrise
matter.
in Queensland?
like 6:30.
I didn't know they had
all-
the sun there actually.
You know,
So far
It's
away.
the Sunshine State. Unless they're just fucking liars.
they are lions.
So Saturday night was a big night.
Saturday night was the biggest night. All the girls were there. All the like the Veram's girlfriends were there. We went out to
any girlfriends for you there, mate? Were there any girls
no,
there?
all the
Any
girls there
single?
were, no, because it was all
ladies for
Veram's
you?
girlfriends, and then there was Tennille, who is the girlfriend of Ben from Ben. Well, they're both in Ben Tennyson, the band. Best band name, Ben.
I
Tennyson.
feel like if they get big enough, that's gonna give them many a legal issue.
Well, no.
well,
'cause the
they'll
name
cross
Ben
that bridge when they
Tennyson-
get there, I guess.
I
You don't think they
so.
own the trademark to the name Ben Tennyson? Like
Well,
on the little, is it Cartoon Network or Nick that owns Ben 10?
Cartoon Network.
So do you don't think you know how like at the one of the like after on
Look,
the end
Dan,
card
I'm
of the
not
show,
going to
it's like
get into this
Ben 10, the
conversation because I'm
Omnitrix,
not
Ben Tennyson, and all other properties are trademarks of Cartoon Network.
See,
Yeah,
I
but
don't know,
Ben
Dan. You're
Tennyson.
asking the wrong guy.
Well,
If they're
I'm
called
just
Ben
going to
10, then
assume that they're fucked.
Well, because it's like a combination of all their names, like Ben, Tennille, Ten, and then the bassist is Harrison, so Ben Tennyson.
Yeah, good luck explaining that in court. I'm defending Cartoon Network in this case.
Cartoon Network have the lawyers. Anyway,
No, have me.
So
no girlfriend for
so
you.
no gopher for me. There was no gopher.
But what
Did you
about a
guys go
girlfriend?
clubbing?
So we went out for a nice dinner at a place called the Loose Moose. Very nice.
Oh.
You could order your drinks online.
Oh, did they have one of the
You
things
just-
where you like
yeah,
scan a
that's
QR
standard.
code at the table and?
Yep.
So
All
I
right,
went.
You
I've
say
never been
that's
to a place
standard.
like
I've
that.
never seen that before.
Really?
So the step up from this is I went to, you know, Coby was there. Do you remember the Mexican pub that we went to on the pub crawl for mine and Joseph's birthday that
Oh,
Joseph
yep.
didn't come to?
Yeah.
Yes. So,
Wait, what was that?
because I think your mom was when she had her stomach issues.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So they on the table because me and Brooke went there. We went to a cat cafe and then we were like, let's get drunk at the Mexican pub next door after. It was great.
I know exactly which one it is.
I can't remember what it's called.
El
It's
Loco?
killing me. El Loco, that's it.
El Loco, yeah. I went there on Saturday.
Yeah, so they have on the table, they have like an NFC thing that you just scan your phone and it like comes up with the menu in like a browser tab. It's even easier than a
Yeah.
QR code because you can do it
I
while
was gonna
drunk.
say, have you? So you've never seen? Yeah, because I went to on Saturday.
was
I went to,
amazing.
Like, 4
I didn't have
different
to talk
pubs,
to
and they all
anybody.
had that.
I didn't have to talk to anybody. And then we got something called the arse burner wings, which were just, I think it was, what's that really hot pepper? That really hot,
Habanero,
no, not habanero, like
Carolina
the
Reaper.
Carolina, it was apparently Carolina Reaper hot sauce, which was terrifying. So we all had one. I ate my wing.
Did you though?
I did eat my wing. That sauce was spicy. I almost put the wing down because of how spicy it was.
Oh, really?
Okay,
No,
hold on.
I'm
'Cause
weak.
you and Wings have a storied history.
I ate my wing.
Is there any evidence?
Oh, he's true. He's got a point there. Wait, just quickly, how hot was it? Hot that even Dugan was like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
Okay, because Dugan's got.
I kind of
I'm
want to
not
get.
good with spice. I'm not good with spice. So, but like how bad something is, I was shoveling ice from my drink into my mouth.
Worst thing you
Like,
can do.
for-
Worst thing you
Yeah,
can
it makes
do.
it worse.
Yeah,
It's actually better just like leave it out in the air.
yeah. Because
I'm
what
not gonna have my tongue out at a table.
well, because what water does is it lifts the oils and spreads them evenly around your mouth and your throat, so it just makes the burn worse. It's better to just like just take it where it is than to have water.
I refused. I liked the ice on my tongue.
Is this why you all said your buttholes were destroyed the next day?
Yes. Yeah, it was.
I feel
yeah.
sorry for the toilet.
You kind of buried the lead there,
Sorry.
or buried the poop in this case. Then we went to the casino, and guess who won?
Zane.
Like,
This guy.
This guy? How much?
well, okay,
well,
when you say
what games?
one-
What games did you play?
So we went to a roulette table first, $10 roulette table, right? Minimum bet you could do was 50 on like for
On the
50-50s,
yeah.
you had to do a minimum bet of 50.
Oh
So
wow.
I put $50 on the table, and I'm like, all right, let's go. I had $100 for the entire night, so this was like half of what I had.
The entire night. What?
I would have taken out another 100 probably if I.
Oh,
if
do
I
you mean
lost
$100 as in you took out $100 cash for?
it. Yeah, cash.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I thought you meant like for the entire night. I've budgeted $100.
No.
You did a Blake.
So I put 50 down, right? They gave me 50 in chips, and I went red, and it was red, and I'm like, yes, fantastic. So my strat on a roulette table is to do the thirds, and you do one of the bottom thirds and then one of the side thirds. So like the 1 to 2.
Well, no, that's
1 to
hurting
2,
your odds. So the statistically the best. So the thirds you can win. They're $3 like you triple your money if you hit one of those.
Yeah.
So if you bet on 2 of the thirds in the same thing, so 2 of the bottom ones or 2 of the across ones, you have a 2/3 chance to win, which is like the best odds you can get.
Yeah.
And if you win, you get the money back from that bet, the money back from the other bet, and like one more. So the most reliable way to make money in roulette. Well, because you win triple. So if you bet evenly on those two,
so say
and you win triple of the one that wins, you pay for that one, and you pocket the extra. So in roulette, that's statistically the best way you have to play.
Yeah.
But it's the
But
least,
I don't
least
do it.
interesting.
I don't do it on the same third. I do it on like the opposing thirds, so that like, I've still got a third chance. But if it lands in that, it wouldn't be quadrant. It would be, the sec. Anyway, you know what I mean. And I was up 100, and I thought, that's my luck for tonight. I'm not gonna waste it. So I took out 100, and I was the only winner.
You had the least fun though.
No, I had the most fun because then I had $100 extra. And you're right, I did kind of want to play blackjack, but I also thought, shouldn't.
Well, so what you should do is then pocket what you originally went in with, and then play with the winnings.
Yeah.
And that way your casino night was free.
Yeah, but
and then you make more money because
I win the casino. See, I beat the casino. You know what I mean?
Did you though? Because the 100 you made, they made like 1,000 fold.
We didn't buy any drinks. We were probably in the casino for maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Because none of the girls were betting. None of the girls were betting, and we kind of lost Zane. Oh, Zane wasn't there. Sorry.
We still don't know where he is.
Yeah, no, Zane wasn't there. Sorry.
So
we were in there for maybe 30, 45 minutes. And then we left to go home. Now, big thing. So I think it was 2 podcasts ago, I talked about Lime bikes in the city. Guess what was a major theme this weekend?
Scooters, Lime scooters.
It was the Lime bike.
Oh, again, the same. I thought it was going to be different, but it was the same.
So,
wait, did you at least confirm that they're assisted pedal?
Yeah, they're assisted pedal.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank God. I felt like I was being gaslit on the last pod.
No. I just didn't know. So where we were
I didn't know.
staying-
I just thought I was amazingly fit.
So where we were is, I can ride a bike. Fuck you. Is the street like leading into Surfers Paradise? So on the path toward there was so many Lime bikes. Now Friday night on the way back, because we went in there to check out some stuff, there was a magician who like pinned a card to my back. That was real crazy.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, I was typing something. Can you elaborate further on what you just said?
A magician pinned a card to my back.
But like,
right,
how?
so
What?
on the Friday night, we were walking towards Surfers Paradise. I forget for what reason, actually. To get drinks or whatever, something like that, food.
Alcoholic.
And there were markets there. There was like this, like mini carnival thing, which was just markets. So we walked through there. We had a grand old piss take going through there. And then we went into Surfers Paradise, like the plaza. And while we were coming back through to get some food, there was a street magician busking there. His name was Aiden. And my God, I don't know how he did it.
Wait, hold on. How was he? How AYDEN?
AIDEN.
False god, false prophet.
yeah.
We don't recognize him on this podcast.
Well, I don't know. I haven't ever seen AYDEN do magic like this man has. All right. And by that, I mean, I know exactly how all the tricks are done, but I was there on the sideline going, oh my God. Oh my God. How did he do it every time he finished a trick?
Oh,
And
you
then
did
he
the
asked me-
Jeff Ramsey thing where you
I
like
did the Jeff
go,
Ramsey
you like double think to put him off even more than someone not reacting. Love it. Love it.
So so he called me up for a trick. Which was this card trick. Now, he never
Watching
showed
that was one of my favorite things.
You got it? I never got the video for it. I never saw it.
Someone sent it to me, and it just looked.
So
fine.
I
wish there
I
was
was very
record.
like I was still a bit tipsy, right? This guy was doing a card trick. He was like, so basically the trick is like the vanishing card. Where there's a deck of cards and presumably like all of those cards are the same because I never got shown the deck explicitly. So I say stop at a point. He pulls out the card and then he goes, okay, take the card out and show the audience. And I show the audience and he's like, don't show me, don't show me. So I'm showing the audience. I'm going, wow, yeah, guys, look at this. And then I go, hand him the card. And then like instantly the card, he just goes like, all right, that's your card, and just looks at the card. And I'm like, well, why did I have to show everybody that was the card? And then you didn't have to look, you liar. Anyway, a bit of sleight of hand later that you could very, very much tell was sleight of
A
hand.
bit of sleight of hand later, Coby had 3 cards in his ears and he was pregnant.
Yeah, so he goes, all right, this is the vanishing card trick. And then like the top of it, and then he goes, all right, can you just stand here for a moment, and pats my back. And I went, yep. Guys, look here.
It's
Ready,
happening.
watch this.
Yeah.
I was doing that. I was pointing at the back because I'm like, I'm sure it's on the back of my jacket, like already knowing. And he pulls off the top card, and the top card is like blank. And then he's like, oh, but what's on the back of your shirt? And it's like pinned to my jacket. And it was my card folded up. And I went, oh my God. I swore in front of children. It's like,
Yeah, I know you did. I saw
did.
that.
I did. Because I was still tipsy. I was just like, oh fuck! Oh, there's kids here.
It's my
So
dream
on
to
the-
see like a street magician like that and just do exactly the Jeff Ramsey. Just be like, what? How? To every single thing. Like, what?
That was the last time we saw Aiden. We don't know where he went. So on the way back,
He's
that
in jail
Friday
for
night-
drug abuse.
Oh, okay. yeah.
Coby, that's fucked up.
He actually stole
you-
some children.
Oh god.
He was our age. Like,
It makes sense. He's from
Yeah, look at
Queensland.
you.
Dan, were you up in the Gold Coast?
No, I'm not. I wouldn't. If I was gonna lie about my name being Aiden, why the fuck would I use an I? Why would I
False god.
diminish myself like that?
False god.
YDEN.
So on the way back, there were
Yeah,
the line
yeah.
bikes, but there were only 3, and there
Please
was
tell me
6
you
of
rode
us
in someone's
boys.
basket.
I didn't. So we didn't ride in anybody's basket. We jumped on the back, right? Dugan split his pants. It was like I was with Dugan, and now me and Dugan are both heavy boys. So like it was very hard to steer. He was like, "You can't ride a bike, Coby. What are you doing? Keep it straight." And he's on the back going, fucking trying to keep his balance, and I'm
Not the
trying
most
to keep my
stable
balance.
person when he's drunk already. Like putting
Yeah.
the 2 of you on the back of like on a
So
bike.
then he jumped off because we were like swerving way too much, and then he goes, "Oh, I've ripped my pants," and then I just rode off without him.
Nice. When you say
Um,
ripped his pants, is it a crotchal split or is it like bottom of the leg?
It was a crotch split.
Love it,
It was
love
like a crotch to the leg.
Well, he's a
and
fucking
then-
multi-millionaire now. He can afford
Yeah,
it.
he is. Yeah, he can do that. And then, so I give you the Lime bike story because when we left the casino, there was a singular Lime bike just like outside, like conveniently. And Logan runs up to it and goes, "Boys, this one's mine." Gets on it and just goes off into the night. And we're like, "Where the fuck did he go? Where's he gone?" It was very worrying.
I'm impressed with
we
someone
had to
being
catch-
able to like to that story to happen in the time frame it did because I feel like it'd be a process to pay for that bike.
Yeah. So we had to catch the tram like 2 stops over to get to like just walk back to where we were. And before we even got on the tram to go back, he messages the group chat and is like, "I win." And when we got there, sure enough, he was just sitting there with Ben from Ben 10 and was just like, "Sup, lads, let's go." Didn't have the key or anything. They were just sitting in the driveway.
Which
'Cause
of
they
the
couldn't get in
aliens
their
was
place.
Ben 10? Was he turned into any of the aliens?
Accelerate. Why did I remember?
That's the only one I can remember too. I was literally about to say, was he Accelerate?
I remember Diamond Head.
Which was the evil one?
Was one of them
Grey
called Grey
Ghost.
Matter?
Grey Matter. Yeah, Grey Matter was the mini
Ben
guy.
10 original.
Okay, we're pivoting. We're
Aliens.
gonna rank the Ben 10
pivoting.
Yeah.
I feel like also
Okay.
Accelerate's like S tier, obviously. He's the number one because he's the only one we all remembered.
Because then he ended up getting like the. Because wait, what was
Oh,
the
Ghost
original one?
Freak. That was the bad guy. Oh, Heat
Oh,
Blast.
yeah.
Wow.
No, it wasn't.
This
No,
is
it wasn't Ghost
exciting.
Freak.
Yeah,
No,
it was
no.
Ghost Freak. It was Ghost Freak.
Oh, wait a second.
Do you guys remember the movie? That movie
Wow.
was the shit.
It's a
That was
live
so
action
good.
movie.
No, not the live action
Oh,
one, the
well,
animated
Yes,
one.
the live action one.
The
No.
live action one was also good, yes.
What's
There
the
was 2 live
original
action
Aliens
movies?
original?
Yeah, there was one where he was a
2?
kid and one where he was a teenager.
I always
Okay,
remember
so
the
there
one
was-
where he was a teenager.
what was the one where he was a dog? It
Wild
was something
Mutt.
mutt.
Wild Mutt?
Wild Mutt, yeah.
Okay, I'm going through. So there's
All right,
Heat Blast,
Wild Mutt, Forearms,
Diamond
Grey
Head.
Matter, Accelerate,
Diamond Head,
Upgrade,
Accelerate,
Diamond Head, Rip Jaws, Stink Fly, Ghost Freak.
Grey Matter, Forearms,
Blast.
Think Fly.
Ghost Freak was pretty
Upgrade.
sick. I remember
Ghost
because he
Freak.
was the bad guy.
So Diamond Head, Accelerate. No, the Grey Matter. Yeah, okay. Forearms, Stink
Wild-
Fly. He never
Joseph's
used to
just
use
in like a
Stink Fly
fit.
much.
He's just saying the names. He's like in a trance now.
No, he
I
never
remember-
used to use
and then
Rip
Rip
Jaws
Jaw-
enough because like there was
They didn't
never a
have enough water.
storyline.
Too
water.
expensive
Yeah.
to animate.
Upgrade was cool. No, it wasn't Ghost Freak.
Yeah, Ghost Freak was the bad guy.
No, there was.
Yeah, because remember the episode with the clowns and like ghost, like there was another ghost of the
Did
same.
Kobe, I'm gonna be straight with you. I don't remember that. I was a
I
child.
remember this, right? Because like Ghost Freak,
I
there was.
remember Ghost
Remember how
Freak
all the
being-
aliens are like, they're like replicas of different aliens from other planets,
Yes,
Yeah.
yep,
right?
yep.
The ghost was a different thing. Like there was a
Yeah,
different
like
Ghost
possessed
Freak.
to the
No,
Omnitrix.
because
Yeah.
the Ghost Freak, they are like. Oh, what was it? It was like
We just went from talking
you
about.
can't clone. You can't clone a Ghost Freak. It's like they have to. It's
Well,
basically just
I don't
another.
remember the Ben
person
10
in there.
lore. We went from
Oh, there's
talking about
actually-
casinos to talking about Ben
Yeah,
10.
how do we get? Yeah,
Oh, there's
But
actually
no,
a picture of all the Ben 10 of the original series ones.
I
and then going
I remember the
Alien
episode.
Force.
It must have been episode 1 of season 2. I saw it on on channel 10 at 5 a.m. in the morning.
because you didn't have
Redundant.
Foxtel.
Didn't.
So you didn't have.
Oh,
And
did you
um,
not?
Cartoon
the
Network.
Omnitrix upgraded and all the aliens were different. I was like, this show is off the rails.
Yeah, I think
Oh
that
yeah,
was-
Alien
that was
Force.
Alien
Alien
Force.
Force was the shit, man. That's
I
stuff.
I remember the original one more than Alien Force.
when Kevin came back, and you're like, oh, Kevin's a good guy now,
the
but he's
fuck
also
is
got
Kevin?
weird motives, but he's a good guy now.
Anyway, Line Bike's back
Anyway.
at the house.
I am. Where is this visible to watch?
Probably Stan.
Is it-
I'll tell you while Kobe
Is it on
continues his
Stan?
story.
All
I
right,
think it's
yeah,
Stan.
I've got
Um,
Stan.
That was basically the incident. Oh, then I'm kind of jumping around, but Saturday morning we were at the beach.
Fuck, it's not on it. Sorry, go ahead. Yep.
I'll tell you, Joseph. It's cool.
Saturday morning we were on the beach and we were playing beach cricket, having some fun. And then this 50-year-old lady comes up to Kaden and Dugan, who were batting, and is like, "Oh, can I play?" I'm from a distance. We were out fielding.
It's
by the
on
water.
binge, Joseph, so you have to give Rupert Murdoch money.
Oh, fuck off! I'm not getting
Fuck off.
binge.
But the
Where's
fact that it's
Barco?
on
Like,
binge
it's
probably
just
means that it's on Foxtel on demand if you have that.
Fuck yes. All right. Oh,
So
damn.
she was playing, and it was this old woman, and we had no fucking clue what she was doing. Right? She was just like, standing there. Anyway, she put her stuff next to our towels. That's what happened first, and then she's like, "Oh, can I play, guys?" Whatever. I can't do the story justice because I was just a humble bystander of the process because I was out fielding the entire time.
Just so quickly, just before we move on to that,
Yep.
Ben 10's on the Foxtel Go.
Oh, nice.
Nice, very nice. We all know
There's
what,
all of it as well.
we know what
Is there
Joseph's
live-
going to
Can
be
we
doing
cuddle?
tonight.
Can we cuddle
Oh,
and watch instead of
There's
going
Ben
to
10,
netball
there's
tomorrow?
Ben
Can
10
we?
Race Against Time. It's the
Oh
one
my
where
god!
he's the live one.
Oh my god!
I know what
Yes.
I'm watching tonight.
Yes. Oh no! Can we instead of netball do that tomorrow night?
No.
Joseph, you have to
Oh.
play, otherwise you'll be in trouble.
Yeah, because her dog died.
Oh.
That is the reason.
Anyway.
You just said it, huh?
So we were maybe playing. We'll maybe playing beach cricket for half an hour.
When you say you were fielding, like were you just way out fielding and the game was happening and you
No,
were
because
kind of there?
we had it angled. We had it angled so that you were hitting towards the water, so we were just at the water line, right?
Ah.
Which was perfect distance.
Did you make any catches?
I didn't, but Cameron did.
Well, of course Cameron did. Fucking
Cameron,
That
yeah,
makes
of course.
sense.
Fuck that guy.
just a
Jesus
specimen,
Christ.
honestly.
Him and his perfect-looking body and his
Face
kissable
mostly.
lips
His face is beautiful.
and just
Ginormous
just how
member.
yeah, and just how much you just
How
want.
did any
so much.
any girls flirt with him while they're up there?
No,
Bullshit. Absolutely
Well, yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah.
I didn't
Why
say
did
any.
you lie?
I didn't. There were no other. I told you there were no
There's,
single
but at
women.
the casino or something, he would have.
No.
There's no way.
Maybe Queensland just don't appreciate a good specimen like they do in Sydney.
Well, because all I know is you can't fucking step 3 steps into a pub here without every woman in the place wanting to have a piece of him. It's upsetting.
And man as well. He walks in and I'm good friends with him. And I want to.
Are you okay, Joseph? Are you trying to get back into the friend group here?
Anyway.
I've got to get
Anyway. Cricket. So she was playing. She was like fielding, and then somebody got out, and then she went and had to go batting. And you know, once she was batting, Logan was the bowler, and Logan comes up and he's like, "Should I give her a bit of the berries, boys?" Because he knows how to play. He knows how to play. So he was just throwing the dodgiest fucking balls, but like going, you know.
How old was this woman?
She must have been early 50s, but she looked older.
Nice.
And the revelation came that she was pissed off her brain because she had a crushed up red Solo cup with shit still in it. Now, this isn't the best part of the story. She got caught out by Dugan, who was like standing closer to the stumps or whatever.
I love it because Dugan put his whole body on the line during that game. Like he would have been ready to do his knees and his shoulders all over again.
And then she came up to Dugan and was like, "Hey, you mister, what did you have doing that, whatever?" And started like holding onto his arm and touching him, and it was real weird. It was a real weird vibe. Anyway, we kind of ended the game, and then we all got into the water except for Kaden, Cameron, and Summer. And then Cameron just kind of made his way over, and Dugan made his way over, and it was just Kaden and Summer. And eventually, like, she was trying to feel up Kaden, like, and when I'm talking feel up, I'm talking like thumb by dick territory here, right?
This is on the beach with everyone.
This is
around.
on the beach when we were all in the water looking, and then Cameron with his
the old lady.
This is the old lady.
Oh, sorry.
With Summer standing there, mind you, right? And they were there because they were scared that she was going to nick some of our stuff from like where our towels were. So, but then
she was trying to nick something.
Yeah. Cameron, with all of his wisdom from the water, whistled because he can whistle. He likes to tell us he can whistle.
Oh, he won't let you forget that he can whistle.
He won't let you forget it. He will whistle in like the most closed area.
Honestly, I feel like we should set aside a good 5 or 6 minutes here to slander Cameron, because those in the live audience would know that he neglected to be on the podcast tonight. So I feel like that kind of opens the floor to Cameron bashing.
I think I just have one word, and it is cunt.
Well, I don't think we should be bashing anyone now that we know that Ben 10 is on Foxtel.
This has really
Just
changed your
putting it out
outlook on everything,
Life.
hasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't want to die anymore.
Wow, big steps.
So anyway,
We have
as she
fun
was
here.
leaving, she was like standing by the exit of the, what are they called? Like the walkways down to the beach.
Walkways down to the beach.
Walkways.
Yeah, I guess don't they have like a specific name, or am I
Fucking
an idiot?
rectangles.
I don't know. Anyway, she
Remember
was.
how his grandpa was in the plumbers?
Yeah, he was a plumber, and they're like.
Oh, you're thinking of
like
Mario.
galactic.
You're thinking of Mario and Luigi.
Shut up. So I'm almost done with this story, and then we can get on to a different topic.
We're so close to the end of the podcast. This story is the whole thing.
We do 1 every 2 weeks. We can make it a bit longer. So as she was leaving the walkway. like she was taking her fucking time, and the recount from Summer and Dugan. Now this is the recount from Summer and Dugan.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dugan renowned for a bit of salt and pepper, and I feel like
renowned for a bit of salt and
I
pepper.
feel like I could
However,
see Summer getting Dugan salting and peppering, and her adding some additional like allspice
Not
to
from-
it, just to
Yeah.
kind of.
Not from her like not knowing it, like not from her doing it on purpose.
well,
but
because
unknowingly
she
'cause
did
just
she did in
radiating
that
Dugan
walkway
energy.
pop a squat, right?
Who did Summer?
No, the old lady.
You gotta really
Stop thinking I'm
clarify when you're talking
about
about the
Summer.
lady. Well, because we were
I'm
just
talking
talking
about
about
the lady.
Summer, and you're like, yeah, she popped
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So the old lady in the walkway popped a squat. Now, according to Dugan and Summer, she took a shit on the side, like
Did you
just
see it?
on the. I didn't see it.
Okay, unless
they-
Dugan
she
brought that
took-
to you in his hands, it didn't happen.
It was. She probably just farted.
Not even. She probably was got a rock out of her thongs and kept walking. And Dugan was like, she took a full
Now-
fucking dump. Like a bidet came out of nowhere. It was fucking
She
weird.
started throwing it at kids.
It was very. Look, I'm not inclined to believe him, but I think it is funnier if I do believe
Oh
that
no,
she shit.
that's the thing
on
with
the walkway.
Dugan stories.
That's
They're
the
always
thing,
funnier
yeah.
when they're true, but they're
Yeah.
never true.
So you just let him go.
Yeah.
That's why. That's the best bit.
So that was.
Like we'll never
There's a
know
lot
what was
more to the
truly on that
weekend.
girl's ear at Priceline that one day. We'll never know.
Yeah, we don't know. We will never know.
Was she even at Priceline? Did
Like
Dugan
that
just-
time, that Dugan was moments away from being breathalyzed when a speeding car.
That is
passed
my
him.
favorite Salt and Pepper story. He's told it on the podcast before. If you just go diving through our backlog, you'll find it. But my
That is.
goodness.
It is. I was
My
thinking about it
goodness.
today. Actually,
I think
was
about that
like, oh.
regularly. Whenever I see an RBT, I think about that story. And like how outrageous it is.
So yeah, that there's a lot more to the weekend, but I don't want to get bogged down talking
Not
about
to get
all of it
bogged
Well, I feel
without
like-
just my perspective on it.
So just
We played Rage Cage Saturday night. Like after we got back from the casino, it was a wild night. Got absolutely destroyed. Sunday was not a good day. Then we flew back, and now I'm sad and thinking
Sad.
about moving up
Do you
there.
think Caden's not here to attest to his enjoyment or not? Do you think he enjoyed it?
I think Kaden loved every single moment of it, except for the moment where I shit on his bed.
Were you the lady in the story?
I was the lady in the story, guys. I was trying to feel up Kaden.
And
Yeah.
scene.
Insane.
I believe that though. I could.
That's
believe
more
you
realistic
tried that.
than Dugan's version of events.
I just see myself out.
All right, well, at least
He-
we'll have a
yep.
nice, and we'll have a better convo. I think better back and forth.
So, Joseph, as part of our Slalt Cast 2.0 initiative, you've started a new podcast, and you've kind of
Oh, have I?
jumped into the hosting role. Do you want to tell us a bit about how that's been going? Because I'm intrigued. Because I'm a huge fan of the show. I listened to it just to make sure you didn't get us cancelled, and then I really enjoyed it. So
No, it's good. I enjoy.
Kobe's doing
I
bits,
enjoy-
but his noise gate's fucking him over.
yeah. He's not.
No, he's just mouthing it.
Just let's not look. Don't look at him. Look at me.
It's just hard to
Uh,
ignore him, you know. It's just such
Yeah,
an
he's a
eyesore.
presence.
Do you want me to say it? Do you want me to say it
Please
out loud?
sheesh loudly into your
I
microphone.
don't care that you broke your elbow.
We just lost all of our millennial viewers, but attracted many Gen Z viewers.
Yes. Yes.
And now I hate myself because
I even have
my
the
rapper
TikTok
went
hate.
I Hate Myself by Radicals.
Right?
Oh,
No, so I enjoy hosting it. It's good.
Also, let's
you
go
sort
from
of
the
get
top.
to
What is the
wreck the
show? Give the
conversation.
pitch. This is like an
Oh, well, it's-
advertisement.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a footy show. We release it on a Wednesday, so it's after team lists come out Tuesday afternoon, and it's recorded Tuesday afternoon.
Within 1 week of that promo video releasing, so many details have changed as to what we're doing on a weekly basis. So, hey, the best way
yeah.
to follow along is follow the socials, Saltcast on Instagram, best place to follow, and also join our Discord server where there's a link in our link in bio thing on our link tree, in our Instagram bio.
Yeah.
The
something like
Discord,
that.
I post notifications whenever we go live, whenever there's a new bit of content dropping. It's great.
yeah.
Okay. Well,
Well,
okay. I'm assuming back to me.
Get back to you.
No.
Okay.
Actually,
So-
no. I want to talk about. The
Well, no, can we? I
crisis.
wanted to get to Joseph. Like, how are you enjoying the hosting part and like collating the show? And
I'm loving it. It's really good. Yeah, it's really good. I enjoy basically being sort of like running it. in terms of running the conversation. I like sort of picking the topics of what we'll talk about because I think, luckily, with footy, it's sort of easier. There's more news, like it's a news cycle. It's a sport. There's things happening constantly, and also, unlike probably most of the stuff we talk about, I'm like quite knowledgeable.
Well, not
and
only are you
and I follow it
knowledgeable,
a
so
lot
like
closer.
we've had Fish on the podcast before, and he's one of your co-chairs, and then also Coco, who I want to get on the Slalt Cast at some point. But like, so he was on this week. Like, I know they're both knowledgeable about footy, but
Yeah.
both of them, and like especially Coco, I was like amazed at how well spoken they were on the podcast. Like, it can go 50-50
Oh, yeah, it was
with
good.
people, like they can get on and then they start like stumbling over their words and stuff. But even Coco was like throwing out clips and stuff in the episode, and I was like, "Fuck, this is the best thing we make."
He watches a lot of Matty John's footy show in order to. That's a lie. It's when you know something, you can talk about it forever.
Yeah.
And like refresh it. And footy sport is just one of those things where you're able to refresh your memory on stuff and have opinions on it like week to week because it happens week to week.
Well, I think, and how passionate you guys are about it. Because I'm not really an NRL fan. Like, as I said, I was only listening to the show to make sure there wasn't anything like outrageous in there. And then, like, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the show. So, fucking footy talk on Spotify, boys. Get on it.
Yeah, it's good. It's something I'm passionate about. I think it's something that my two co-hosts, hopefully I'll be able to get them both on at the same time, are incredibly passionate
And I think
about.
microphones for them is
Is
something
an
that needs
issue.
to
Yeah,
happen.
but look, I think get up and running. It's really fun. I like talking about footy. I like listening to my mates talk about footy. That's basically all we do anyway. Outside of like you guys is basically talking about footy. So
See,
good.
my only criticism is there needs to be more energy at the beginning. You come in going, all right, footy talk. I need you to hype that shit up.
I change it in the next.
I've commissioned Kaden to make you an intro. We can talk about this off air, but I feel like that'll help with the energy because it'll be like loud noise, fade out, you talk, energy's built in. Anyway.
So
if you had to be a vampire or a werewolf, which would you choose?
Vampire, because they're sexy.
Werewolf, 100%.
Well, I feel like we need to break it down. So I'm coming from the I would go with werewolf if it's a What We Do in the Shadows werewolf. Just because.
No, I feel like it's you don't get to choose what kind. It's like popular culture.
Yeah, we have to define that.
I think vampires are a lot more. I would say more like underworld werewolves, where you turn into those big like sort of creatures, or even like say like Teen Wolf ones.
I want to be like fucking like an easy. If I'm gonna be a vampire, I want it to be an easy mode vampire, kind of like fucking Vampire Diaries or something, where they have like the magic that lets you go in the sun.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Just for riding purposes.
Well, Coby, looking at your skin color now, do you go?
I go in the sun. I go in the sun. See, I feel like in popular culture, every werewolf and vampire, like every vampire, is rich, so they don't have.
Well,
to,
that's just because they're from old money. Is kind of
Because
I'm talking about you getting
every
bit
werewolf
now.
Is poor. Oh, me getting bit now.
Yeah. Like so okay. We have Taylor Lautner, but as Shark Boy, and we have Edward Cullen now standing outside your door, and one of them's gonna bite you. You get to choose. Do you want it to be the little boy or nah?
But I wouldn't be.
I wouldn't want to be a Twilight version of either of them, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. See, like for me, a werewolf, I don't want to be one of those ones like where it's just like full moon, you kill like you're uncontrolled. I mean, like. I don't know. I feel like Teen Wolf would be like the best kind of.
I feel like for werewolf, I want to be able to transform at will. And I guess if there's a full moon, maybe I lose control then. But like other than that, I want to be able to.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, there's only downsides to werewolf.
See, vampire.
Not really. You get
you can
stronger.
Are you stronger in human form as a werewolf?
Yeah, you're stronger in human form.
Yeah. Haven't you watched Teen Wolf?
I haven't watched Teen Wolf.
You don't have.
Why are we talking about Teen Wolf and Vampire Diaries? All of I feel like this was just to pivot the conversation.
You don't have it.
Well, no, it wasn't.
You don't have a human form as a vampire.
Well, yeah, but you've got a bat form. You can turn into a bat.
I feel like because we want to be able to integrate into. I want to still be able to work at IGA. So I feel like if the vampire option needs to be like. Let's say a Skyrim vampire.
Human you doesn't want to work there.
No, I don't. No, I want to be like a Skyrim vampire where like maybe my eyes are yellow when everyone in Whiterun distrusts me, but then I can also turn into a vampire lord and I can also turn into a bat.
Yes.
But I can't go into the sun.
But most vampires now, like pop culture vampires now, don't really turn into bats.
Yeah, they're pussies.
They do suck. Oh, what was he like in Dracula Untold? I don't remember that movie, but I feel like it was a good iteration.
He just kind of became stronger and healed, and he kind of became immortal or something.
Look, I feel like werewolf gives you the most to live a normal life. So I might change my answer to werewolf. But if I'm able
But you
to be a
uncontrollably murder everything around you once a month.
well, so do women.
Oh my god, Coby. Oh my god. We do not, none of the Slalt Cast stand by Coby's statements.
Yeah, that was an awful thing to say. It was an off-color joke.
Stop. Okay, now I'm gonna, so...
Hard pivot.
Well, I was gonna say, if you pick Vampire, Wesley Snipes hunts you. I'm gonna add that to Vampire. So it's cool because you'll meet Wesley Snipes, but also he's hunting you.
Cool.
Does that affect your answer?
Look, if I'm a vampire and can go out into the sun, vampire. Unless not, probably werewolf.
Interesting.
I'm a werewolf. I'm always werewolf. I don't think I'd ever be because I just want to turn into.
And then I think I'm also werewolf.
Then if you're a vampire and you can go out into the sun, right? You're ultimately like girls have that biting kink, and if you have like natural fangs, you can like
you could be friends with Army Hammer.
You could be friends with Army. I don't want to be a vampire anymore. I don't want to be a vampire anymore.
No, and then I think like what we do in the shadows is a perfect case because remember like on the pub night the werewolves they're not swearwolves, they're werewolves, and then the vampire ate the chip and vomited everywhere. You should watch What We Do in the Shadows. Phenomenal movie.
I know. I'm aware.
So Coby, you were pivoting to something before I pivoted to this.
I thought you were pivoting because I said a very off-color.
No, I'm talking about before we got even to the whole vampires and werewolves thing.
Oh well, I was going to say, Dan, where can I find you online?
I thought you wanted to go for longer, and now you're ending.
Okay, where can I find a great animated TV series that has just finished its first season?
Well, I can help you if you want an animated TV series based on a comic run by Robert Kirkman.
Oh,
So The Walking Dead is coming out with an animated...
Well, just quickly, may I interject?
You can interject.
I'm about to shit my pants.
Okay.
All right, you can go shit.
You can go shit while we talk about Invincible, and then...
Yeah.
Well, spoilers! We're talking about Invincible, but in a spoiler-free context.
All right, well, I'm going to go do that.
Yep.
I'll be back, well, depending if by the time I'm back.
Well, if you're not back, you don't get to plug in.
We're going to talk until you get back, so you have to come back.
Okay, well, I'm going to go on deafen now.
Okay.
Right, yep, nice. I don't want him to go on deafen.
Imagine if he just, like, he said, I'm going on deafen, and he realized that didn't turn off his camera, and he just sits in his chair and starts, like, doing what he does. Now he's
turning around. He's trying to turn around with his grey tracksuit pants.
His headset was stuck to him. Is what happened.
Little does it. Yeah, that was all a way to try and turn around. I forgot that.
So Invincible on Amazon has just the week before last it finished its run. Well, I guess I'll start with my opinion. I thoroughly enjoyed the show from moment to moment. We won't get into spoilers because I think end of episode 1 is kind of like a big moment. So I'd say watch the show, get to the end of episode 1, and then how episode 1 ends is how the rest of the show is. And make your decision on whether or not to continue to watching based on that. And I think you should, because it was very good.
So Dan spoiled it for me.
You fucker! Coby comes. We were playing Apex Legends one night. Coby gets into the call.
Before I did this bit, I watched it before I did this bit because I like.
You spoiled the first episode for yourself online as well.
No. I watched it before I did that.
Fuck you.
Right? I watched the first episode before I was fucking with you, and then I watched it again, right, just to refresh my memory. I thought the show went from like on a scale from 0 to 100. I think it went from like a solid 45 to 90 by the final.
So I'd say it went from like a 7.5 to a 10. But
I don't think it was a 10. I think it was fairly up there.
I have like a gripe with how people score things, just in general. We're gonna stop talking about
what I'm just saying is that the quality of the show was a very, very straight line upwards.
It just
in
got better and
quality.
better every episode.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I don't think it started particularly strongly, not because of the not because of the thing that happens at the final thing.
Calling
of
it
the
a
first
twist,
episode.
even like you said twist and then caught yourself. I don't even think it's so much of a twist as it is kind of like that's how the show was happening.
I was very much expecting it.
If you know to anticipate something, that is what you'll anticipate.
Yeah.
I feel.
So, like, regardless, I think that the show is really good. And from what I've heard of storylines in the comics, it sounds like it's going to get.
Yeah, I bought
better.
the first. There's 3 like compendiums of the comics, and I bought the first one. I'm gonna read it between now and season 2. Try hopefully the whole thing.
There's some fuck shit that goes on apparently. Like. Yeah.
Well, I from what I understand, that the train scene in the final episode is kind of a taste of how the show goes.
Yeah. It's kind of
goes.
hard to talk about the show without like.
Well, I think we should just give our top
episode.
level. Would you recommend? Do you recommend people watch it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think I like. Here's the thing: I like animated stuff a lot more in like an action sense more than. This is where I wanted to pivot the conversation.
Well, it is very freeing being able to do action and animated because you're not limited to like physics.
Yeah, but I also think that like animation is, in my opinion, the better form of entertainment for a lot of stuff. Like, of course, it's great how far cinema and film has come with like being able to do action stuff.
Those Hollywood guys, if they just keep at it, one day they'll be something.
That'll be great. Too bad they're harvesting adrenochromes from children to live forever.
So I kind of hate conspiracy theories. That's my favorite one to just laugh at because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah. So I liked that, when I found out that it was animated, because I didn't know, I thought it was live action, that I'm like, oh, this is going to be really fun.
The messaging on it's been kind of confusing because they're doing a live action movie. At the same time that Robert Kirkman sold the license to a live action movie and the animated show. So that's probably.
So I don't know how that's going to happen, and I feel like I'm not going to like the live action movie.
I hope J.K. Simmons plays Omni-Man in the live action movie. It has to be either J.K. Simmons or Henry Cavill. There can be no one else to do that role.
Yeah. And the voice acting cast was stellar. There was so many times, like the evil guy that made the
Titans,
things that was
Ali. Oh,
the cyborgs. He was Miller. What's his name?
Ezra Miller.
Pardon?
Ezra Miller.
Well,
Jason Mantzoukas is one of the main characters. Like Seth Rogen's in it a couple times. Mark Hamill's in it. Like J.K. Simmons is one of the main characters.
Yeah,
it's
so
fantastic.
It was fucking
Zachary
crazy.
Quinto is like Rudy. That's awesome. Walton Goggins is Cecil. Like it's stellar cast, absolutely stellar. Mahershala Ali pops in. Zazie Beetz is in it. Like it's awesome.
So it was crazy, and that's what I liked about the animated version. From what I think that I'm going to like the live version.
What's up, my airline buddies?
A lot of those castings don't work like in live action, unfortunately. And the animated portrayals were so strong that it's going to be hard to see those characters played by anyone else.
So I think it's a bit of a weird thing to do.
I can't imagine a live action version of that because it's not going to have a $200 million budget. It's going to be like a $90 million movie, so I don't think it's going to work as well.
It's going to be an hour and a half, and it's probably just going to be like episode 1 to 7 and 8.
Oh no, I think it'll be the story of the whole season told incredibly poorly because of how quickly it had to be told. That's another thing I'll say about the show. 40 plus minute episodes in an animated thing. Like you sacrifice.
Only Amazon could do that.
Well, you sacrifice animation quality. Like that's a thing that Robert Kirkman's talked about. Is like I pushed for longer episodes. Like yes, we had to make like the budgetary decision to do like lesser animation and kind of like save our moments because there are moments in the show that are like breathtaking, in like how stunningly they're animated. But a lot of the time it is like when they're flying, it's just stills and stuff.
Yeah,
but 40-minute episodes is awesome.
Particularly like jarring. Usually when shit like that happens, like I can notice it. There was a time when it was first, like there was an explosion and like there was CG.
And it's like a camera shake.
And it was a bit egregious. Like that was the only time that I found it like particularly, annoying. But I've watched Ruby, and that shit just looks bad all the time. So
Have you seen?
like
This is a bit of
CG
a non
animation.
sequitur. Did you see the Corridor Digital animators react to Attack on Titan that they released over the weekend?
no, I haven't.
Well,
And can
so
you link me that, please?
A bit I will after the show. A bit they discuss in that is how for season 4, because it's a different animation studio,
It's a different animation
they
studio. They've
use
changed.
CG for the Titans. Do you find that jarring? Like, did you? Because
Yes, but only because like I found that jarring just because the previous seasons didn't have that.
Because
Right.
I haven't seen the final season of Attack on Titan, and to me, just from the shots that they used in the
spoil
animators
anything.
react, it looked as good as the animated. Because like whatever shader that they had rendering those CG models made it look.
Yeah, it looked really well. Yeah, and then I started reading about like having to animate those Titans because of how detailed they are, and like I forget who the original studio was. I think it was WIT, WIT.
Not important.
Why
Studio
they
one.
change animation studios?
Budget.
Money.
What, cheaper animation?
I think they
studio,
are doing
or-
it for cheaper. That's why they pivoted
Yeah.
to like the CG Titans.
Yeah, and like the amount of work it takes to like go frame by frame with those Titans because of how like detailed they are.
Well, for those of you who
Is
haven't seen it,
An
so
insane amount of work.
Corridor Digital, they did like the VFX Artist React series, and then they've pivoted, like they did a breakout like Stuntmen React, and that's phenomenal too. And then they've done 2 or 3 episodes of Animators React, and they get people from like ILM and from Disney to come in and like talk about the animation process. And it is like really interesting when they break down like how you'll get like your lead animator will do like the key frames effectively, and then you get like peasant animators to do the frames in between and stuff. And so yeah, for a huge Titan fight where it's like extremely detailed, the amount of man hours of people just like straight up penning that shit, and then the coloring and stuff.
Yeah,
Where it's, like being able to take a 3D model, animate it like you would, like you kind of can do like you can do it quicker because you can do mocap data then. You can mocap a Titan fight, put it on the 3D model, and then 3D programs you can like when you render it, you can say like add cell shading, make it like flat.
Yeah.
That's an oversimplification. But the thing that they brought up is why that technique looks like is not necessarily looks bad, but is jarring in certain things, like in Ruby, is when like it's kind of like the nature of people is when you get a new tool set, you think, how can I push this to its limit? So generally when they do these like the CG scenes, they'll up the frame rate compared to the animated stuff, and that immediately makes it look weird, going from like a 16 frame like anime thing to like a 48 frame CG spin around crazy camera movements that they weren't doing.
yeah.
And that's why your brain's like, this looks different, ergo it looks bad. But yeah, watch the Corridor
Like
videos. They're good.
Can you link me that one? I want to watch that.
Yeah.
In Invincible, they did like the CG was just like for foreground, out of focus, like pedestrian characters.
It was really to save time, and they were artistic with it.
Yeah,
Which is good.
Yeah, it was just a great show, and people should watch it, and people should also watch Legend of Korra because J.K. Simmons is in that, and it's real good.
Well, I think that'll bring us to the end of the show.
So speaking of the end, Dan, where can they find you?
This is not one of the things changing in season 2. Kobe, where can the people find you? It's not, because I do the final outro, bitch.
Dan, know this season I'm going to do it every episode.
What? Know this, I'm going to fight you. Where can the people find you?
They can find me on Instagram at _55 Kobe55_ and at South_bound_band, or on Twitter at Kobe_55.
Joseph, where can the people find you?
At V Garibaldi, so that's for pizza, and then just like at Slalt Cast, obviously for Footy Talk.
Yeah,
my personal, but that's in the thing. You
Yes,
see that.
search Footy Talk on your podcast services. Like a quick aside, our SEO on the Slalt Cast, terrible. Our SEO on the new shows, fantastic. I can't believe no one had the name
What is
Footy
SEO?
Talk. Search engine optimization.
Oh,
How easily searchable your thing is. So yeah, you can just search Footy Talk on Spotify and it'll come up, unlike the Slalt Cast. You can find me at DanielF737 on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow the Slalt Cast at Slalt on all of the socials. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok even. Make sure you catch the Slalt Cast when we record it live every other Wednesday now on twitch.tv/Slalt, or catch it later on podcast services or on YouTube. On YouTube, just search for Slalt Cast and you'll find it, because we don't have a vanity URL. So make sure you subscribe when you're there. You can also catch my brand new show, The Weekly Roundup, in those same places. Just search The Weekly Roundup. And the elevator pitch for that is that it's a weekly pop culture, gaming, and entertainment news show, and it's I like doing it.
It's a lot like The Know, if you remember
It's
that.
not really like The Know.
It's a lot like The Know.
It's a quick roundup that I watch to get all my news.
It is.
It's like The Know.
And Coby is going to give us a musical outro, but a cappella style.
Oh, okay. Oh, fuck it. Hold on. Sorry. I am a con.